professional artist, and we bought this house, let's see, 4 years ago, and it's a very typical 1940s bungalow, 2 bedrooms on the main floor, living room, kitchen. We love it, but we knew that it wasn't working for us. The space was just not working. We lived in it for, let's see, 2.5 years, and then I took a year off of my art business and renovated it myself. The first phase was the basement, which was probably the easiest because there was nothing down there anyway. It was a little bit challenging in that we have a new furnace, but it was the ductwork of an old furnace. And so the ductwork went up into the walls, and then we had the supporting beam here. And so since I could not remove some of the ductwork, what I decided to do was just sheetrock over it. And then I had this sort of odd thing sticking out of my ceiling. So what I decided to do was to paint it so that it actually looked like it was intentional, and then trim around it, and then I added these vinyl words just to make it a little bit more fun. This room is where my children watch TV and where their friends come down and hang out, and so, you know, I just wanted it to be sort of fun and funky. The stairs are the original stairs, and they're pretty, you know, they were pretty banged up. I was just looking at a way to make them a little bit more interesting and colorful. The bigger design issues came on the main floor because we were taking out 2 walls. And for that, I would say my design style was very much about having it work for the way our family works. This was had the ironing board inside, and we don't iron, but we cook. So we just took the ironing board out and turned it into a spice rack. I took the bookcase from the living room, put it in here, which this is just a hallway. We sit down to dinner every night, so I wanted a formal place to sit down. We took out this wall so that we would have a formal dining room. We were left with this gap. Now these are the original 1940 wood floor, and we just decided to go ahead and sand them down and revarnish them. But because there was this strip, I kind of was scratching my head, you know, do I try to patch it with wood? What can I do? And I just decided that it would look interesting with just a very loose mosaic design, and this is actually done with a cork paper from Portugal, and so it has a nice look and feel, and it sort of just blends in with the wood, so unless you're paying attention you don't even notice it. We don't work at home, so this was the closet for the previous bedroom. The whole idea was to make a functional working office, and so we can come in here and work during the day. Again, it's a dining room, so we don't even use it during the day, and then at night we just shut the doors and turn off the light, and we're ready for dinner. We decided to go on a pay-as-you-go plan. I took 13 months to renovate the house. So a lot of my decisions were very much based on reduce, reuse, you know, the whole recycle paradigm. As a matter of fact, the kitchen, we had some serviceable oak cabinets, and they weren't horrible, and cabinetry is one of the most expensive things, and so rather than buying new cabinets, I simply rearranged them. I took cabinets off of one existing wall, moved them to the other side. I did find 2 cabinets at a recycle center, so I was able to refinish those to match the other cabinets. Of course, I'm a paper mosaic artist, and so I had been thinking about doing the paper mosaic backsplash all along. And so I knew I was going to do that, but then when it came to the countertops, I kind of thought, well, let's give it a try. In this case, the paper, which is a banana bark paper from Thailand, I ordered just, I don't know, probably 20 or so sheets from a paper supply store. And what I do with my mosaics is I take the paper and I back them onto a poster board so it thickens them. And then I literally just cut the squares, glued them down. Now the insets are pretty much the same process, but they're just a little bit more detailed. So once the papers are glued onto the countertops, the entire thing's coated with acrylic, and that soaks in and seals the paper. And then I did 3 coats of a polyurethane. In terms of incorporating other artists' work into my house, I just love original pieces, and I can't remember who said it, but there was a quote that was kind of rattling around my head, and it was to live with nothing that was not either beautiful or useful. And so even my useful objects, you know, my water jugs, you know, everything I try to, or my platters, I try to pick out from artists at art festivals and purchase them. But then the also thing was to create a space that felt, you know, sort of representative of us, the colors that we like. I wanted it warm. I wanted it to feel like a place you'd want to come and have dinner, have a glass of wine, just relax. We've lived all over, and we've certainly had bigger homes and fancier homes, but I've never had a home that I love as much as this home.